Sweden is a land of majestic forests, crystal clear lakes, and modern cities where nature and urban life coexist in perfect harmony. But one of the country's most iconic symbols remains its women. Swedish girls have become a standard of natural beauty, self-confidence, and progressive thinking. Let's dive into the world of Swedish women and explore what makes them so unique. Many Scandinavian women allow their husbands to have affairs, or even to live with other women. I think a lot of men have secretly thought about this, or are even ready to admit they would like some freedom in choosing who to sleep with. Swedish women, like many other Scandinavian women, are known for their refined and natural appearance. Despite the stereotype, not every Swedish woman is a tall blonde with blue eyes. Still, light hair and light eyes are quite common. Their skin is usually fair with a soft rosy tint, which gives their faces a natural glow. Their figures tend to be slim and fit, not so much because of strict diets, but thanks to an active lifestyle and a love for the outdoors. Swedish women spend a lot of time in nature, play sports, and enjoy long walks, all of which help them stay in great shape. What truly sets Swedish women apart is their sure approach to beauty. They prefer minimal makeup and natural hairstyles. The goal is not to cover up, but to highlight their natural features. The Swedish beauty ideal is healthy, well-cared-for skin, bright eyes, and a calm, confident smile. Back in the Viking age, the age of 12 was considered appropriate for a girl to marry. The groom's family typically paid a generous dowry, a kind of bride price. Marrying a daughter off to someone from another village often secured alliances that would be helpful during times of conflict. Sometimes a girl was sent to live with a rival clan as a hostage. The logic was simple. If someone from the rival clan had a child with her, then former enemies would become relatives, and the fighting would stop. Interestingly, Scandinavian women had the right to divorce. For example, if the husband dressed poorly, looked unkempt, failed to satisfy her in bed, or turned out to be homosexual, she could file for separation. However, if the man was simply cheating on her with other women, that wasn't considered a valid reason for divorce or division of property. Swedish women embody the northern character: restraint, independence, and self-sufficiency. From an early age, they are raised with a strong sense of gender equality and self-respect. As a result, they grow up knowing they don't have to wait for someone to solve their problems. They take action themselves. They are confident, but not aggressive. In conversation, Swedish women are calm, polite, and friendly. They don't like to impose and expect the same respect in return. Respect for personal boundaries and others' freedom is an important part of their mindset. Modesty is another core trait. Swedish women don't like bragging about their accomplishments, that even if they are significant. In Sweden, there is an unspoken rule that no one should think of themselves as better than others. This creates a culture where people are valued for their personal qualities, not their status or success. By the way, in Viking times, it was acceptable for a man to bring mistresses into his home. Some warriors brought back women from raids, others bought slaves at markets, and some took lovers from lower social classes. A Viking could have 2 or 3 concubines in addition to his official wife. Wives didn't object, as mistresses had no legal rights and posed no threat to their status. Today, Swedish women are known for their sense of style, which blends minimalism, functionality, and elegance. Their wardrobes usually consist of high-quality basics in neutral shades: gray, black, white, and beige. This approach allows them to look modern and chic with minimal effort. In winter, they wear cozy sweaters, warm scarves, and waterproof boots. In summer, they prefer light dresses and sandals. Swedish women are experts at mixing casual streetwear with elegant accents, creating outfits that look relaxed but well put together. The term Swedish family is a stereotype and doesn't fully reflect how Scandinavians view relationships. However, there's a grain of truth in it. Much like their Viking ancestors, women in Sweden, Norway, Denmark, and Finland often take a relaxed view toward their partner's affairs. It's not unusual for one man to live with 2 women, and it isn't considered shocking. Sometimes, these relationships involve 2 married couples. Less commonly, 2 men may share 1 woman. Scandinavians are far from conservative in their approach to intimacy. In fact, they underwent a sexual revolution in the mid-20th century. Back then, local hippies lived in communes where free love wasn't just a slogan, it was reality. Some Scandinavian women even continue intimate relationships with their ex-husbands, viewing divorce as no barrier. In some cases, current spouses also join in, turning it into a sort of family-wide open relationship. Swedish women grow up surrounded by nature, and this deeply shapes their worldview. For them, weekends spent outdoors are not just leisure, but an essential part of life. They love skiing in the winter, biking in the summer, and foraging for mushrooms and berries in the fall. The Swedish cultural concept of lagom, meaning not too much, not too little, is key to how they live. Swedish women follow this principle in everything, in food, relationships, and lifestyle. They believe in balance and harmony, avoiding extremes. In Scandinavian countries, sex education is a major part of the school curriculum. The European Office of the World Health Organization developed a program called the Standards for Sexuality Education, which Sweden, Norway, Denmark, and Finland follow thoroughly. Sex education begins as early as age 4. At that age, adults are expected to explain physical closeness and self-pleasure in age-appropriate ways. By age 5, children learn that families can look different and that love can exist between people of the same gender. Between ages 6 and 9, children are taught how to recognize inappropriate behavior and understand the concept of mutual consent. At 10, they receive guidance on how to masturbate and experience orgasm. Only by age 12 are they introduced to the idea that relationships between men and women can include not only sex, but also romance. Young girls in early school years are also taught about prostitution, pornography, and sexual addiction. They watch educational videos that include male anatomy, even in aroused states. They examine donor sperm under microscopes and are taught how to use contraceptives. Bisexuals and transgender people are often invited to speak in classrooms and share their life experiences. These educational programs are even broadcast on TV, so parents can watch with their children and answer any questions that come up. Sweden is one of the most progressive countries in the world when it comes to gender equality, and that's clearly reflected in the lives of its women. Swedish women have equal access to education and career opportunities. Many pursue fields like tech, science, and business, and go on to achieve remarkable success. They are confident and unafraid to challenge outdated stereotypes. Swedish women don't see family and career as mutually exclusive. They know how to balance both. For Scandinavian women, sex on the first date is often expected. Love stories here tend to start the same way. A woman goes to a bar, acts openly, picks someone up for the night. The next morning, after drinks and sex, they might formally introduce themselves. If they like each other, they'll go on more dates and get to know each other better. If not, no hard feelings. It's just life. Often, the woman is the one who takes initiative after the first date, calling or texting if she wants to continue the connection. Many young couples in Scandinavia don't get married at all, choosing instead to live together. Official registration usually happens only after they have children. And in many cases, fathers take parental leave, too. Swedish women approach relationships with openness and honesty. Emotional connection, trust, and mutual respect are key. Unlike many other cultures where traditional gender roles dominate, relationships in Sweden are built on partnership and equality. Even in the closest relationships, they value personal space and independence. That doesn't mean they are cold or distant. Quite the opposite. Swedish women can be incredibly warm and loving partners. In Finnish saunas, it's common for men and women to bathe together, whether it's public baths visited by entire families or in private homes. This is tradition. Shy visitors may wrap themselves in towels, but most Finns and Swedes are comfortable with nudity. It's normal not to pay attention to the opposite sex during these rituals. In some public saunas, there are designated days for men and women to attend separately. Today, Swedish women are a symbol of the modern independent woman. They build successful careers, travel the world, care about the environment, and stay true to their values. They are strong, confident, and not influenced by outside opinions. Since 2015, Norway has required mandatory military service for women, recognizing full gender equality. Sweden followed in 2017. Women weren't opposed. In fact, there are fewer spots in the military than there are volunteers. New recruits are chosen through a competitive selection process. In Norway, for example, out of around 60,000 young men and women who apply each year, only 8 to 10,000 are accepted into service. Scandinavian women have long had the option to join the military voluntarily. Finnish women gained that right back in 1995. Beautiful blondes not only live in the same barracks with male soldiers, they also shower together. Yes, really. Swedish women are a blend of natural beauty, independence, and self-respect. Their calmness, confidence, and deep connection with nature make them truly special. Their lifestyle, fashion, and approach to relationships all reflect the Scandinavian philosophy of balance and simplicity. They are not just beauty ideals. They're powerful examples of how to live in harmony with yourself and the world around you.